let's jump on that. When did you decide, or did you decide initially this was going to be a side hustle, or I'm all in, lay it out?
Don, I'll start, and then Jason can jump on the back end of it. So when we came up with Alice, it was an impactful enough differentiation into what the market had ever seen before that when we met with some local investors here, they were intrigued by it. And they saw the difference that could make in leveling the playing field in the recruiting world for everyone. And so we raised about $375K in seed capital to build a prototype of that technology, which Jason was leading the charge on developing that tech. I conceptualized what I thought it could look like, and I had no idea how to build it. I'm an HR guy. How would I know any of that? Mm-hmm. And that's where this guy came into play and brought that vision to a real product. And once we launched it, we had 2 visionary buyers right out of the gate. And you would think, what a great thing, but it's actually the worst thing that could have happened to us, because out of the gate with 2 visionary buyers, as the creator of the product, you're convinced that everyone's going to adopt it and that everybody's going to love it. And this is going to be scalable and it's going to be successful. So those 2 visionary buyers out of the gate really ended up burning about another 5 to 6 months of our time, realizing that as we were pitching this to our HR peers in the marketplace, and they were going, wait, hold on a minute, I don't know if I trust that. Mm-hmm. We ended up realizing that there was not a long-term path or a short-term path to sustainable revenue. So we go back to our investors, and we'd opened up a new $1 million round to take that Alice concept to the next level. We were halfway through that round of subscribing it, and we just realized we've got to sit down and talk to our investors that as exciting as this technology is for us, there's not a long-term path or short-term path to being successful. So what we initially tried to do was to say we could do one of 2 things. We can either raise more money on the idea that it appears we have to educate the marketplace. Mm-hmm. And that's never a winning sell. Mm-hmm. Going to an investor saying, hey, will you invest X amount of money so we can just convince everybody this is worthwhile? Right. They're like, no, and good luck with that.
No, thank you.
So when we realized that, we said, is there a way that we can still get video streaming in and get paid for that video, which is feeding into Alice's ability to learn and better understand human communication behavior? And it's to Jason's credit, he discovered where that path led us, and then it blew up into what Quicc became. But do you want to talk about how we transitioned into that?
Yeah. I mean, it really was this data acquisition play. So with any kind of AI modeling, good data in equals good data out. And so making sure that we had a clear, repeatable way to get good content. Primarily, we're focused on video interviews. So where do we go to find more talking heads? Well, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere that people were starting to do vlogs or even interviews via YouTube that they would send out to recruiters. There's a lot of content there that we discovered. There's a lot of marketing-based content. It's talking head content. It could be a podcast like this that's shot on video. It could be a vlog. It could be an interview. It could be a keynote speaker that people miss out on the real value and the real content within that because there's no captions provided in a world where we're scrolling through Instagram feeds and Facebook feeds where if a video pops up in that feed today, it's mute by default. And as I dug deeper and deeper, I found through a lot of our content creator friends, a lot of the marketing friends that we had in the industries, they said, we would love to do captions. It just takes so long to put them in. And the 2 statistics we found out of that was Facebook alone, 85% of the video content on Facebook that is consumed, that's actually watched, is presented on mute. 85. That means only 15% of your content is actually being heard by people. And that kind of brought be heard. So how do you be heard on a feed where the platform, Facebook, says you're on mute, that video content's on mute? And we started to see some of the really invested content creators say, all right, we're going to put captions on. And it was about 45 minutes of video post-production to burn in captions for a 1-minute clip of content.
Wow.
Yeah, not conducive.
Ooh. So when we heard that, we're like, we've got half of this technology already with Alice, with our transcribing component. Why don't we just create a website or a portal that they can go in, upload a video, say, I want blue text on a white background. I want it to show up right here on the video. And we just transcribe it originally. They can review it for any edits and corrections. We get about 90% of the way there for them. So, hey, I'm only changing one in every 10 words. It's usually names, like my last name, Toevs, Toevs. That's not what you would expect.
And how long does that take?
And we shortened that process from 45 minutes, anywhere between 3 and 5 minutes for most
Wow,
creators.
that's a huge difference.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so we released that as a beta product at a marketing conference in San Diego. This would have been early 2019. And it took off. I mean, we had 350 beta users out of that conference alone. And then, I don't know, 6 months later, we're in over 100 different countries. We had thousands of users.
And this is all in 2020 when...
No, that was in 2019.
2019.
But in 2020, we saw a 7x increase in videos coming into our service during the pandemic.